My wife is funding her lover and spending freely with my supplementary card. Her lover grabbed and smashed David's Rolls-Royce, valued at over $7 million, $7.8 million, worth over $50 million. Sarah rushed over and still protected him, calling David and I crazy, refusing to even acknowledge her own son. I presented the purchase evidence to force the man to pay and expose Sarah for embezzling public funds to support her lover, divorcing her on the spot and making her be stripped of all assets. In the end, Sarah stabbed her lover and went to jail, and the man lost his ability to have children and resorted to selling himself to pay debts at a nightclub. The car dealership salesman's face lit up as soon as he heard Pacific Holdings, and he accepted the black card. He then immediately handed over his business card. Next time you have any needs, just give me a call and tell me. The online personality also handed over a business card. My name is Justin. David was furious and shouted at the salesman, "What right do you have to do this? We waited 3 months for this car. His wife is Sarah from Pacific Holdings. But do you know who my dad is?" Justin looked at David dismissively. "Who cares who your dad is? Everyone knows Sarah from Pacific Holdings is the richest person in this city. How could you nouveau rich compare to that?" David was getting agitated and wanted to argue with him further. I thought for a moment, then pulled David back, stopping him from saying who we were. It was a coincidence today. The salesman who usually helped us wasn't here. David and I planned to just pick up the car and leave. Neither of us expected this to happen. I recognized this man as a risque, online personality. My wife often liked watching him dance on social media, but I had no idea when these two hooked up offline. These two scumbags, I'm going to ruin their reputation today. I looked around, noticing people holding streaming equipment and live streaming and recording. I scoffed. So, he wanted to use us for clicks, views. More and more onlookers gathered, and her young lover became even more smug. "This car is beautiful. I've never seen this model before. The wrap must be custom. A car like this takes at least half a year from purchase to delivery. Half a year wasted waiting. Didn't that kid just ask everyone who his dad is? Who is his dad?" Everyone looked at David. After hearing me, David wasn't agitated anymore. He just glanced coldly at the salesman. "No matter who my dad is, I bought this car first, so it's mine." The salesman said with a conciliatory smile, "How about this? We'll compensate you $500,000 for the months you waited." Justin's chin was practically scraping the sky, as if he was the only one in the world. David gave them a cold look. "I don't want anything else, I just want the car." The people around were all trying to persuade David, saying, "Young man, that's enough. How many people in the world can make $500,000 in a month?" "Exactly. Take the $500,000 and buy another one." But David stubbornly refused to listen. He even said, "My dad can make millions in minutes, 500,000 isn't even pocket change." Justin was enraged and started banging on the car. "You two nouveau rich are really putting on a show. Forget this car. This whole car dealership belongs to Pacific Holdings." David's face turned red with anger when he heard that, and he couldn't help but want to rush up and slap him. I quickly pulled him back. I said to Justin, "Go ahead, and smash it hard if you dare. Better yet, wreck this car. We'll just get a new one." Justin was furious. He kicked the car door twice with a loud bang. "You think I wouldn't dare? What's a basic Rolls-Royce, valued at over $7 million, $7.8 million, like yours worth? I've never even seen it on the market. If it wasn't for the cool wrap on your car, you think I'd care?" With that, he kicked the front of the car again. After a few kicks, the car's body had multiple dents and scratches. I sneered. "Sarah has no brains, and neither does her young lover she found." The reason he hadn't seen it on the market was because this car was the latest model Rolls-Royce. The original price of this car was over $30 million, and with modifications and special customization, it totaled close to $50 million. Normally, this kind of work would take half a year, and even as VIP customers, we waited 3 months. The person who served us before was the car dealership manager. Today's salesman clearly didn't even know what series this car was. I pointed to a police officer outside the door. "Let's ask a professional about who this car belongs to today." As soon as Justin saw the officer, he immediately started rambling and talking nonsense. The officer didn't have time for him. I handed him all the sales slips and invoices. These documents were enough to prove that this car was the one we ordered 3 months ago. The officer looked coldly at the arrogant Justin. "This car has already been paid for by this gentleman. Your current behavior is theft." Justin said indignantly, "I already said, no matter how much this car costs, I'm willing to add another $1 million. The officer looked up at him helplessly. "According to the law, using violence or threats to force the buying or selling of goods, if the circumstances are serious, can result in imprisonment of up to 3 years or detention, and a fine. If the circumstances are particularly serious, it can result in imprisonment of 3 to 7 years and a fine. If you continue to be unreasonable, this will become a criminal case, and we'll call the police to handle it. Justin reluctantly shut up. The salesman smiled apologetically at Justin. Not this car, you can buy another one. I'll personally deliver it to your home. David glanced at the two of them. He just test drove this car and even smashed it. A new car that's damaged, we don't want it. The salesman was overjoyed when he heard this and turned to look at Justin. Justin was also angry when he heard we didn't want it. He shouted, "What the hell? He says he wants it, he says he doesn't want it. You don't want it, well, I don't want it either." The online personality team was still filming over there, and many people in the crowd were holding up their phones and filming too. Great, everyone wanted it just now. Now nobody wants it. Didn't that Justin say his wife is some group Sarah? If he's so rich, just buy it. Exactly. He's quite famous online, very popular. I heard his wife is his top fan, biggest supporter. I really laughed out of anger. In recent years, the company ran smoothly, and I had a dedicated team to manage it for me. I focused on accompanying David as he finished high school, got into college. Sarah insisted on having a name in the company. I never imagined she would embezzle so much money for this her young lover. With so many people present, and the scene just now, Justin was already cornered. He nodded impatiently. Consider it being extorted by you bums, losers today. This beat-up car is maybe 5 million max. I have 50 million in my black card, enough to buy 10 of your beat-up cars. Swipe the card. When he pulled out his black card, someone in the crowd gasped. Wow, that kind of card requires verification, not just assets, but yearly transaction flow of over 10 billion. To have tens of billions, at such a young age, that's incredible. The salesman was now terrified, sweat pouring down his face. He respectfully took the card. You truly saved me, sir. In ancient times, you would be a hero, my savior. You are truly rich and generous. A young prodigy indeed. Flattered by everyone, he became even more arrogant. He waved his hand. Tonight, I'm treating everyone here to drinks at a bar after work. The crowd cheered. Justin turned and spoke mockingly to us. Know when to quit. You'll definitely be a sales genius in the future if you work hard. Unlike some bums, losers, who live their whole lives driving a basic Rolls-Royce, valued at over $7 million, $7.8 million, and think their life is complete. The crowd was saying, it's great to be rich, 5 million sounds easier than $500. Top-tier rich kids have everything. This father and son are really short-sighted. They should just give him the car, consider it expanding their network. Some even asked him how he made money, wanting to learn from him. Amidst the compliments, I handed the car purchase invoice to the salesman. Okay, 55 million. Go ahead and swipe the card to pay. Upon hearing this, Justin didn't even turn his head, just spat. You must have secretly added a zero to the invoice yourself. There's no car in the world worth over 50 million. I'm telling you, that's extortion, and you'll go to jail for it. Don't think I don't know the law. The onlookers also urged me, you too, quit while you're ahead. 5 million is already a lot, don't be too greedy. I heard Pacific Holdings has its own private security team, ex-military bodyguards. If you go too far, be careful you don't get roughed up when you leave. I looked at the salesman. You have records in your store's system, right? The salesman immediately went to the computer to check the backend data. His pupils widened, and his legs turned to jelly. This car really is 55 million. The salesman exclaimed. When the surrounding customers heard my car was actually 55 million, their expressions changed too. So, there really is a car in the world worth over 50 million. Turns out this father and son are the real rich ones. Didn't the son just say my dad makes millions in minutes? It was all true. They're so low-key, you can't tell they're so rich. In contrast, that young online personality's black card money can't even buy one of their cars, and he was still showing off. The salesman looked at me cautiously. I curled my lips. Pay up, 55 million. Not a penny less. Justin's face flickered slightly, but he quickly regained his arrogance. Fine, I'll call Sarah. I'll have Sarah transfer it to me. With that, he immediately took out his phone and dialed. Soon, the call was connected, and Sarah's voice clearly reached my ears. After the call ended, Justin's face once again showed a smug smile. Isn't it just 55 million? Sarah said she'd transfer 100 million to me right away. As soon as he finished speaking, my phone rang. It was Sarah. I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're doing. Transfer 100 million to me right now. Immediately. I responded calmly. I'm with David picking up a car. We can talk about whatever it is later. Sarah wouldn't give up. Robert, are you trying to end things with me? Anyway, David has already finished high school, got into college. Before she could finish, I hung up the phone. My lips were pressed tight, the urge to kill barely contained. Ever since she married me, I had indulged her in everything. She wanted money, I gave her money. She wanted to start a business, I gave her a business. If she couldn't handle it, I let her have a nominal position. I had done everything I could for her, and the result was her using my money to fund Justin. I scoffed and immediately sent a message to the company's legal department. Draft a divorce agreement according to the prenuptial agreement, making Sarah be stripped of all assets. After I hung up, Sarah kept bombarding my phone calls. I turned it off directly. But before long, Justin held up his phone. Look. The money's here. He became arrogant again and immediately transferred the money to the salesman. The salesman let out a long sigh, feeling relieved. The salesman then returned the money for my car to me. I was even more annoyed when I saw this. My supplementary card was frozen, but Sarah still had so much money. I couldn't imagine how much Sarah had embezzled from Pacific Holdings in the years I wasn't closely involved. Justin spent 55 million and ended up with a damaged car, so he was in a bad mood and wanted to leave with his team. Just then, I stopped him. That supplementary card is Sarah's. Where did you get it? The onlookers were about to leave, but seeing me say this, they all came back to watch the show. Justin got angry. Don't slander me. This supplementary card was clearly given to me by Sarah so I could buy a car. You're going too far. I'm going to call Sarah here today, and I'll make sure you two father and son can't survive in this city for the rest of your lives. He made a phone call, and soon after, a convoy of black Maybachs slowly arrived. Sarah, wearing a black bodycon dress and high heels, gracefully stepped out of the car. David stood at the car dealership entrance to greet her, making sure Sarah would see them immediately. Sure enough, Sarah spotted him right away. She rushed to his side, grabbed David's hand, and asked with a worried look, "Who dared to bully you? Your wife is here to sort them out." The more I watched, the angrier I got. How did I end up marrying such an unfaithful woman? Every time there was a parent-teacher conference for our son, she'd say she was too busy to make it back. But the moment David was in trouble, she rushed here in less than 15 minutes. Seeing his mom hold David's hand, Ethan was furious, gritting his teeth. Dad. She's not my mom. I could only keep trying to calm him down, telling him not to act rashly. Seeing my wife in person, the onlookers immediately stirred. Wow, I never expected the CEO of Ocean Group to be such a beauty. And I heard she's really capable. David is young and handsome too. They're a match made in heaven. After a round of flattery, David put his arm around Sarah and pointed towards me and my son. He said in a strained voice, "It's these two. They're ungrateful, trying to steal my car, and claiming the supplementary credit card you gave me is theirs. Sarah, please help me deal with them. I never want to see them again. Who had the nerve to bully my husband?" Hearing David's accusations, Sarah looked past the crowd and finally saw Ethan and me. The anger on her face instantly turned to shock. "Robert, how can this be you?" She quickly came over to me and said in a low voice, close to my ear, "Robert, this is truly a misunderstanding between allies. He's a very popular influencer, and I'm planning to enter the entertainment industry soon. I'll need David's help with things going forward, so this must be you and Ethan acting foolishly and offending him. Apologize to him. Let both sides save face, and let's just drop this." I shoved her away and deliberately raised my voice. "Apologize? Why the hell would I apologize to him? He tried to steal your son's car and stole our supplementary credit card, but you want **** to apologize. And aren't you going to explain where he got the money he just spent?" More and more people in the mall heard that the CEO of Ocean Group would be here today. Everyone was eager to catch a glimpse, and now they were clearly getting some juicy gossip. The crowd gathered at the scene grew larger and larger, and some people even started live streaming. What's going on? This guy actually dares to question the female CEO of Ocean Group. What's the deal? He's asking how the female CEO of Ocean Group got where she is. Typical man, trying to control his own wife at home and other people's wives when he's out. But Sarah didn't expect me to call her out in front of so many people. Ethan's eyes were filled with contempt for her. But she didn't seem uncomfortable at all. She straightened her clothes. "I was just trying to be reasonable with you. But since you refused the easy way, now face the consequences. Don't blame me for being ruthless." Ethan puffed out his cheeks. "Are you even speaking like a human being? My eyes were cold as ice. I swung my arm and slapped her twice across the face. I pointed at her nose and cursed, "Sarah, is there anything on you I didn't pay for? And you're telling me not to be ruthless. How exactly do you plan to be ruthless with me?" Sarah and I had been together since high school. I had always been patient with her, cherished her. I had never even raised my voice at her, let alone laid a hand on her. She covered her face, looking at me with utter disbelief. The onlookers were so stunned they barely dared to breathe. Who could believe it? They had just witnessed the CEO of Ocean Group getting slapped. People started whispering, "It's over." I can already picture this father and son on the front page tomorrow. No way. Negative news about powerful families is always suppressed. No, not that kind of news. It'll be about them being wiped out, disappearing without a trace. But I think there's more to this than meets the eye. I feel like I've seen this man somewhere before. And someone who can spend $55 million to buy a car for his son, he can't be just anybody. Seeing his sugar mommy get hit, David immediately stepped forward to defend her. "You bastard. You hit my wife. I'll kill you." I kicked David away. "What good is being young? You've already wasted away your body with drinking and women, all show and no substance. You piece of garbage." Seeing David fall to the ground, I turned back and said sharply to Sarah, "Sarah, aren't you going to tell everyone what's really going on?" But Sarah didn't even spare a glance for me or Ethan. She rushed straight to David's side to check on his injuries. Sarah glared at me fiercely. "Robert, you hit me first, and now you hit them. You're just asking for trouble." Saying this, she took the hands of the two brothers and called out to everyone present, "These two, father and son, are crazy. Quick, call the police for us. I'll make them pay." Ethan looked at Sarah in disbelief, his eyes suddenly red. His own mother disowned him and his dad, calling us crazy instead. Nothing could be more heartbreaking. People on the scene scrambled to call the police. Sarah walked elegantly towards me, and again, lowered her voice to speak to me. "My husband, I was wrong. I promise you, I'll live a good life with you from now on. I'll cut off all contact with him. Please, I beg you, let me go." If it were before, I definitely would have gone soft. But now, I just slapped her twice across the face. "Now you know you're wrong. Weren't you just calling the police? Go ahead, call them. You abandoned your own son for a gigolo. Are you even human?" Sarah suddenly seemed to remember she had a son. "Right. We have a son, Ethan. I'm Ethan's mom. He can't be without a mother." She looked at Ethan, hoping he would run to her like he did when he was little. But Ethan had grown up long ago. He didn't even look at her. I had raised Ethan all these years. Sarah had always been an absent mother. Seeing all this, the crowd finally realized, so that guy was telling the truth. Sarah really is his wife, and he is the CEO of Ocean Group. So Sarah was trying to help her lover bully her own husband and son. Sarah hardened her heart and suddenly yelled at me, "Don't let him fool you, everyone. He's a kept man in my family, and now he wants to take over the family empire." I turned around and saw that someone was still live, streaming. David, who had been beaten black and blue and was barely conscious, suddenly perked up. "Everyone, quick, help us call the police. This man wants to kill the owner of Ocean Group and seize her assets." I walked calmly to the camera. "Fine. Call them. These two bastards spent so much of my marital assets, I'm getting it all back." Then I turned and slapped Sarah across her beautiful face, with the back of my hand. I must have been blind before, only attracted by her beautiful facade, never imagining she was such a wicked woman. Then I gave each of the two brothers a kick to the gut. I said to the camera, "All right then, let's wait for the police. I'd like to see them prove I'm some kept man in the Shu family." The police arrived quickly. Sarah and David were both taken away by the police. The twin brother was confused. They were the ones doing the hitting. "Why am I being taken away?" I pulled out a bill longer than a roll of toilet paper. "Because you owe money. This is all our marital assets. Pay it back quickly, or I'll send you to jail." He panicked, yelling toward Sarah, "Sarah, please save me. You were the one who wanted to spend that money on me. It has nothing to do with me." Sarah had no time for him at all. She could barely save herself. How could she save him? Sarah knew I definitely wouldn't save her. Before the police took her away, she knelt by Ethan's feet like a madwoman. "Ethan, Mom is begging you. Go talk to Dad for me. Mom is begging you. Didn't you love Mom the most?" Ethan's face was expressionless. Clearly, he couldn't forgive his own mother for helping an outsider bully him. I picked Ethan up and left her with just one line. "You made your bed. Now lie in it." The police station chief and I were college classmates. The chief personally helped me prove to the netizens that he is the CEO of Sterling Group. His family has been prominent business people with deep roots since his grandfather's generation, donating to the country every year. There's no way he'd try to take over Sir's family empire. And this Sarah is from a humble background. We're not saying there's anything wrong with being from a humble background, but you can't keep a lover. And helping her lover ruin her own husband and son, even disowning her son, when he called her mom. The netizens were outraged. I knew I'd seen Mr. Sterling somewhere. Turns out it was in a finance magazine. This Sarah is shameless, pretending to be some strong businesswoman. PFFT. I know about this Sarah. Her mother was a nanny for the Sterling family. She spent a lot of time at the Sterling house when she was little. That's how she met the young master of the Sterling family. Cinderella became a princess and didn't even appreciate it, still wanting to keep it gigolo. How immoral. Sarah suddenly erupted. She broke free from the police and somehow found a knife. The bodyguards surrounded Ethan and me in layers. But she turned and lunged at David, screaming hysterically, "It's all your fault, you seduced me." She stabbed each of the two brothers in the lower abdomen area. No one expected her to stab David. No one protected David, and as a result, David suffered multiple stab wounds. The police immediately took Sarah away, and the twin brothers were taken away by ambulance. The car dealership salesman's legs turned to jelly. He walked towards me dejectedly. "Mr. Sterling, I'm sorry, I know I messed up." I shook my head. "This is a matter of your internal employee management and industry standards. It's not my concern. I've recorded everything that happened today and sent it to your headquarters. Everything is up to headquarters to decide." Once everything had settled, I took Ethan home. In the end, Sarah was sentenced to 3 years for intentional assault. David and his twin brothers' lives were saved, but they permanently lost their ability to have children. But he still owed me money, so he could only go work as a male escort at a nightclub. The car dealership salesman was fired. He kept protesting his innocence. Both sides were important customers, but there was only one car. Of course, I couldn't handle both. The incident quickly blew up online. It was hard for him to stay in Silverwood, so he finally had to go back to his hometown and farm. Ethan got a new Bugatti model. He said he never wanted to see a Rolls-Royce again in his life.